All right, everybody, welcome to the show. Thursday, October 20th, 2022. I got an awesome show for you today. I'm excited because tomorrow we have Owen Jones on Crystal Kyle and Friends. And for those of you who don't know, Owen Jones is like a political commentator guy, reporter, and he's immersed in British politics. And we're going to talk about Liz Truss. Liz Truss now maybe one of the most disliked politicians I've ever seen, ever. Poll just came out. Her approval rating is below 10%. Because the way it works there is a little different. Like, they don't get to vote directly for their prime minister in the way that we get to vote directly for our president. It's like, you vote for the party, and then the party picks who they want as the leader, and so now you're in a situation where, I forgot what the exact number is, 6%, 9%, 8%, something like that. Put it in the comment section if you know the exact number. I know it's under 10%. And remember, this is the woman who, it wasn't even that long ago, the media outlets were being like, yes, queen, girl boss, oh yes, what a hero, feminism. She's a feminist. She's a feminist who wants to kick poor people in the teeth and feed them to alligators, and she fucking hates them, but she's a girl boss. And so that didn't go over too well, because then she decided to copy Ronald Reagan and Margaret Thatcher, and the economy tanked, and then she immediately had to reverse course, and now her foot's in her mouth. Anyway, so we're going to talk to Owen Jones about that. Really excited about that, and that'll happen tomorrow, so check that out. And also, look, hook your brother up real quick before we jump into the stories. Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, comment, and tell me I have the world's biggest pee-pee. I'd really appreciate that. Trying to get to 1 million subs. Don't know if we're going to get there, but we're going to try. You guys can help me subvert the algorithm. That's our move. Subvert it, okay? So, and also, big shout out to every patron of this show. You guys are awesome. You make it work. You're the reason why I can get away with never having a conversation with any advertiser ever in the 10 plus years of doing this show. It's because of you guys. So shout out to all the patrons to this show. If you want to support the show, you could click the link below. Help a brother out. Same with everybody who subs on Substack for Crystal Kyle and Friends. You guys are awesome. And remember, you can now, if you want to, you can now listen to the show on like Spotify as opposed to just listening to the YouTube videos one by one. We post the whole shows over on Spotify. So anyway, all right, let's go ahead and get started here. So let's start with this. So this is a story that just came out the other day. This is in Jezebel. Missouri woman denied emergency abortion, called a state senator for help. He sent her to an anti-abortion clinic. Now, you're going to be amazed at the specifics of this story, because however bad you think it is, it's actually worse. In August, a pregnant Missouri woman named Melissa Farmer suddenly needed an abortion, just over a month after her state enacted its near-total abortion ban. Her water had broken 17 weeks into her pregnancy, and her medical records indicated a number of health factors placing her at greater risk of pregnancy-related complications, including increased risk of sepsis, loss of her uterus, and even death. Farmer is also 41 years old. Doctors treating her recommended an abortion, but of course, couldn't provide her one under state law, reported the Springfield News Leader. Farmer and her partner consulted with doctors and experts across several states and made countless phone calls with, in her words, a baby dying inside me. They learned there was no way for their wanted pregnancy to be viable or even last another 6 weeks, since Farmer's cervix was already open. If she waited it out, she and the fetus could suffer tremendously. Quote, the thing a doctor said was, there are things worse than death, and I have seen it. In other words, if you don't get an abortion right now, your fetus is going to be in excruciating pain, and you're going to be in excruciating pain, and it's going to be terrible for everybody all around. That's what they're saying. Farmer told the newspaper she always identified as, quote, pretty pro-life, but she found herself seeking abortion care. Anyway, even calling her state senator's office to seek help, she didn't find it. The office of her state senator, a Republican named Bill White, told her the state ban that was literally jeopardizing her life was, quote, actually designed to protect the woman's life. Farmer recalled telling White's aide, it's not protecting me. There's no chance for a baby. She's not going to make it. It's putting my life in danger. She continued, I'm 41. It's not something I can recover from quickly. I could lose my uterus. There's a lot of things that could happen. We just want to move on. We just want to grieve. White's office promised it would talk to the state's Attorney General Eric Schmidt on her behalf, and then connected Farmer with an anti-abortion crisis pregnancy center in the state. Farmer never heard from White's staff again. So, this is one of the many dirty tricks that's used against women who are in need. There's all these clinics that get set up, mostly in red states, where it looks like it's a Planned Parenthood. It looks like it's to help with, reproductive health care. But in reality, it's the opposite. They are basically Christian organizations that put up this veneer of medical seriousness. And ultimately, they're propaganda centers that try to basically, prod women out of getting an abortion. They'll say, oh yeah, you'll be really depressed if you get it, and it'll be terrible, and all these women regret it. Here's some literature about that, and here's some adoption information if you want. They just exist to prod you in that direction. Now, that's bad enough as it is. But imagine being pushed in that direction at a time when you're literally at risk of dying, as she was. All these health problems, totally not viable fetus. The medical option is an abortion. Nope. So look, add this to the list, right? How many of these stories have we given you guys since the overturning of Roe versus Wade that are just absolute nightmare stuff? 10-year-old rape victim being denied an abortion. That was in Ohio. In Louisiana, a woman had a skullless fetus and was denied an abortion. Cancer patients who were denied abortions. There was the judge in Florida who said the 16-year-old is not old enough to determine whether or not they can really get an abortion. But apparently they are old enough to raise a child? Again, the list goes on and on and on. And seemingly every other show, we have another nightmare story. Well, guess what? This show, we have 2. So I have another one to give you later. But this is insane. This is insane. Don't get me wrong. Like, there's reasonable disagreement among reasonable people as to what is the line, where is the line, how nuanced should the regulations be, and all that stuff. That's all fair game. But make no mistake about it, the actual far-right position is a total hellscape dystopia. It is, and this, you're seeing the results of it now. And so this was the main reason why Democrats all of a sudden swung the midterm elections back to being even for a while, because of Roe versus Wade, because that was overturned by a Republican Supreme Court. People think this is authoritarian. People don't agree with this. And so this stuff really needs to be highlighted as much as possible, and people need to be reminded basically what's at stake. If the Republicans take over every branch of government, they will absolutely try to do a national abortion ban. Absolutely they will. Soon as they get an opening, they're going to take it. See, look, we all naively thought at different times, well, we're over certain debates, right? No. Nope. They were just biding their time, man, figuring out a strategy, working through it. Gay marriage is like a 70% issue in the country now. 157 Republicans in the House just voted against it. 195 Republicans voted against a right to contraception. They want red states to be able to ban contraception. Plan B, whatever, the pill, condoms. This is what they want. The extremism was just barely underneath the surface. Second they get an opening, they take it. This is the result right here. Do with that information whatever you will. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You want to.